Hello, everybody. It's me, Danny, back again to have a talk with you. Um, Crazy last couple days. 2 days ago, I went to a welcome committee meeting, welcome, welcoming new residents here, and there was quite a few. Um, it was pretty neat to see that. But while I was there, I saw a bunch of the e-board sitting at a table. And then I got called over to another table of homeowners. And they told me that the e-board was sitting with a lady that's running against me. I don't know her, so I don't know her name. So not to be disrespectful, I just don't know who she is. And I said, okay, that's fine. And they said, well, they're going to have meetings and they're going to have flyers and everything to keep you from winning the presidency. I don't know why. They already control most of the park, so what are they doing? Well, I guess they don't want to hear my voice, but I don't want to hear my voice either. I want to hear your voice. So at that meeting, I was called over to a table and they told me that they were supporting me and that they're going to do their best to counter anything that's being done by the e-board. Okay, that ended, and then as you guys know, if you haven't seen me, I walk every day, 2 or 3 times a day. And I got stopped yesterday 3 times and today twice. And the ones yesterday saying, hey, were you aware of an 11:30 meeting at the activity center to have a meeting to get you out? I said, no, I had no idea about it, and I didn't. And they said, yeah, that's going to happen. And I guess they were going to feed them and everything. I don't know if it happened, that part. So I thought, well, good for them. I mean, they can try anything they want, but if it works, I go back to doing what I'm doing. That's the way it goes. But I don't think the people are stupid enough to trust those 6 people. And so then go and move into today. I'm walking, I get stopped again. Somebody that went to the meeting, and they said, the person said to me, I had a hard time with it because all I looked around was e-board members, not about 3 or 4 other people from the park. That was it. I said, well, how'd you hear about it? Oh, we got phone calls. I said, well, why didn't they call me? I'd have gone. I'd listened to what they had to say, and gave my 2 cents. But today I want to talk to you about something else that you new residents don't know about how this e-board is made up and why we're having problems with them and why we want them out of there. We don't want the e-board to go away. We just want to do it in a different way where it's elected. And the reason is you have no say on your park. And this park was set up because I'm second generation, was set up for you to have the say, not 6 people. It's just the way it is. So I want to talk about a couple because I want you to understand what this is all about. One of them was Arnold Torres. Yeah, I call him Arnold the renter and all that stuff because he doesn't own a place in here, but he has power to control you people to do. He has no skin in the game, but he's allowed to vote and hurt you if he feels like it. Okay, I'm going to back you up to about 2017, 2018. Arnold used to go to the HOA meetings when Gary Mendoza was the president, and Gary was great. And Arnold would come in there every single time we had a meeting. Gary had to shut him up and make him sit down. And the topic was always, we have to make this e-board an elected board. This is awful what they're doing to the park. He said this for months, maybe even more than, maybe into years. And Gary would say, well, that's a different time and a different place. And I understood Gary. But then all of a sudden, Arnold gets a phone call. And I think it was from Cliff, his buddy, who's on the, I'll get to him later. He's on the e-board. Ask him if he wants to be on the e-board. And all of a sudden, his tune changed. Now he was all for the e-board. So I run into him a couple months after this happens. I said, what happened to the, you wanted the board to be elected and you used to scream and yell about it. Well, I don't want it anymore. I mean, that was his answer. It wasn't like, give me reasons that he's going against the people. He got some power and he fell for it. Okay, so that's Arnold's part. Now, as I said, he did this for months. He complained, and there's a lot of witnesses to this. Now let's move on to Lisa Stevens. I don't know how you say her other last name. Her and I and Barbara and Nancy Birch and a couple other people used to walk all the time together. And Lisa sounded like she was for the people. I mean, she talked like she was from the people and all this. And then one day she got a phone call from, I'm told, allegedly it was from Belita, asking her to be on the board. From that day forward, we didn't see her walking. She changed her whole tune. Everything, she went from us all getting along to her disliking us completely. She didn't even talk to us. So I stopped one day in front of another residence place where she was talking. And I said, what are you doing? And she basically almost cussed me out saying, I don't have to listen to you, blah. She didn't have to listen to me. I was trying to get to the bottom of what she's doing. But what it is they turn their back on this place for power. Now, that's crazy. I mean, a neighborhood where we're all supposed to get along. We're all, going in the same direction. And this is what happens. Okay, so I see these two, and they're on the board, and they've got to be somewhat miserable because I know that there's got to be pressure on them because they're not in the majority here. They're in the minority, and they know it. But I'll point out their backgrounds every time. She's a convicted felon. I wouldn't do this. I used to like her. I wouldn't do this. Except she's turned on the people. Not on me. I care less. If they said, we'll turn this e-board over to the people as long as you get out of the way, I'll get out of the way in about 10 seconds. No doubt about it. Now, back to the e-board. So my next door neighbor, Cliff, he was on the e-board for you new people. He was on there, gosh, it's 2016 maybe, I don't know, 17. And he got allegedly thrown off because he never showed up to the meetings. He didn't care. So move forward in how he got back on. This is exactly how it went. Since Belita lives across the street from him, she came and talked to him. Well, he talked to me because we used to be pretty decent friends. I went to court when he had a sexual harassment against him and listened to it and was supposed to be there for a character witness, but it wouldn't work. He had no grounds. He was guilty, and the judge found him that way. And it was some civil deal. I don't know what happened at the end, but I just know it didn't happen for his side. So, okay. So Cliff comes up to me one day and said, I'm going to get on the board. And I thought he was going to run for the HOA. I thought that, okay, he's going to get involved because he hasn't volunteered at all, anything in this park. None. I mean, none. He gave some crude cups out one time over there, I think, and that was it. Okay, so I asked him, what are you doing? And he said, I'm going to run. And I said, oh, HOA, huh? And he goes, oh, no, I'm getting back on the board, the e-board. I said, why? And he said, because I hate Nancy Birch. I want her out. She was the HOA president at the time. And I said, why do you want her out? He goes, she's not good for the park. She's this, that, and the other. And I didn't know the real reason at the time. But then I talked to Nancy and said, why does Cliff have it out for you? And she said, because he hired a contractor to come in here. I think it was paint at the time. Paint some trim or paint something on his house. And the guy got done. And Cliff said, I got to give him like a form so he has to, file taxes against the money. It's not that. It was like $600. and he had to file for taxes. And this guy's, if I remember, he didn't even speak English, and he just wanted his money. Cliff refused unless he took this, and it was crazy. So he paid the guy for the material and did not pay him for his labor. So what happened? Nancy Birch got involved and paid the guy the rest of the bill. I mean, she did it because this guy was so cheap, he wasn't going to pay him. And so that's why I don't get along with him. That has nothing to do with the board. It has more how he treats people. I mean, he's done nothing for this park ever. Never, and he never will. But I see people talk to him. I don't understand why you talk to him. He doesn't care about you, and he will go against you. And I mean, he goes against everything. He's behind. Him and Belita are the key ones to all this madness that's going on around here. Now she's in bad shape, I'm told. Well, I know because I see ambulances over there. So, but has she resigned yet? No. Goddamn, no. And to go to their death with this title. So, pointing out these people that are running the place is why I am so adamant about getting this place back. If it came down to we could get this e-board under control and make it an elected position to make everybody happy, I wouldn't even run. I'd get all the way, I'd be out of the way of everything if it made everybody happy. But I'm only in this thing because I said my parents were originals in here. They're rolling over in their graves now. What's going on in this park? We got to unify this place. It's just getting worse. We got people moving. We got people changing places in the park not to be near these board members. It's crazy. So if you wonder why I'm so adamant, it's because of that. And I do have a game plan that I can understand why they don't want me to be in there because they know I'm going to do something about it. What can I do? I don't know. Well, I got some ideas, a little different than people in the past. So I'll take it one step at a time. But what I do need and what the HOA board needs, because they support what I'm doing here, but what we need is your help. So you can't sit on the sidelines and take this park back. You can't do it. Now, are we asking you to get out there and yell at people? No. Little subtle things behind the scenes. We're going to have some activities we're going to go after. We're going to try to get this thing in line. As I said, I got some ideas, but I got to do it in numbers. I can't do it with just us four that are on the board. We can't do it. We don't have the voice you do. So that's what it's all about. Now, it was said to me today, I should not be so, how'd they put it to me? So angry or so passionate about what I'm doing. I don't know any other way. If it bothers you that I'm like this, then take that other lady's path. But I'm just doing what I know or I think can work. And I'm going to work my butt off to get this done. I originally was not going to take this nomination. I was going to get out. And I talked to a person and that worked out well. That they talked me into staying with this and hearing everything out, and I did. And once I saw the e-board is the one that's trying to take over, I couldn't get out. It's just crazy for me to get out and just give up and let these 6 people, who most of them don't even care about the park, they just care about the power, run the show. So that's it for today. I just wanted to go over and let the new people know what I'm doing, what I need you to do, and we need help. And subscribe to this channel because that way you can see when I put another one out. Once I get elected into this thing officially, you're going to get more of these videos. Just that right now it's in limbo, so I'm in limbo a little bit. But the more I get out there and walk and the more people I see and stop and talk to me, the more fired up I do get. So on that note, have a good day. And if I get any new information, anything I get that we get from the board, whether it's going up against us, whether it's going up against you. I tell you, but we don't have to wait a month to get it in a meeting. I'm going to tell you on this the day I get it. So we'll see what happens. Take care. Have a nice day.